Welcome back to SBS Live This Week as we visit with the Penske file from Ontario once again for part 2 of their episode with us here at Sleeping Bag Studios. We'll continue to talk to Travis, James, and Alex about their adventures on the road and the solidarity behind the Penske file and what continues to be the driving force behind the band and what in the past has helped shape them going forward in the future. So lots of stuff still to come from the Penske file. Of course, we've got 2 songs that we've promised you today, which will be coming as well. In addition to that, we are also going to visit with a clip show of some highlights because it's our birthday. Yeah, that's right. We turned 50 today. This is episode 50 of SBS Live This Week, so we'll include a picture clip show highlight with some SBS music in the background for you at the end of the show. We'll also have a preview of the live concert SBS Lives that we'll be putting out over the next couple weeks while we get interviews ready for Kyle Truelove and metal band X-Pain. And we're definitely looking forward to being able to show you those. So lots to go on the show today. And we turned 50. I've got cake to eat. So here's the show, SBS Live This Week. Thanks for coming back. I am outside the genre, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
This beard is, I don't know. I don't even know what I listen to anymore, guys. I listen to everything. And I have listened to you guys, but give me an idea, not necessarily influences, but like who are the greats of the greats in punk, and I guess if folk is the other influence that you're going with, who's the can't live withouts of those genres?
Are you talking current time or?
Both. Man, I want both. I'm here for details.
Oh my goodness.
I'd say like currently like the kind of like big influence bands, or for me at least, like you guys should add in stuff, but I'm thinking like Against Me, Gaslight Anthem, Flatliners, Men Singers. See that?
Men Singers?
Yeah, the Men Singers. Yeah. So that band is like, especially lately, like what they're doing is just fucking awesome.
I haven't heard of that one.
Opinion. They're super awesome band. Okay. And then like we're also like super into a lot of like, I don't know, like Chuck Reagan from Hot Water Music. He has his like solo stuff that's like more folky, and that was like a kind of like a really inspiring sound, because I remember when hearing that I was like, it's like folky, but it's totally rooted in punk. I was like, if you could take that and amp it up with like cool bass and drums, you'd have like a cool sound, and that's kind of a little bit what it's like. He also does the harmonic and then like we all love Frank Turner and
a wicked band called Crazy Arm.
Crazy Arm, from the UK.
Amazing. They're absolutely insane.
How'd you find them?
I don't know how that happened.
I think Skinner found them.
Yeah, Skinner, our old guitarist and very good buddy.
Yeah.
Chris Skinner. He showed them to us, and they're just like they're like an unbelievable like mesh of like punk and folk and just like so many elements, like pop sensibilities and like hardcore sensibilities, but it's like all put together so like perfectly. Like they're seasoned musicians, like they're like pushing like 40, but like they know how to. It's like a 6-piece band. And they're like they know what they're doing. They've never been to North America though, which sucks.
Really? Okay, that's a long way to go for a concert, no doubt. No doubt. So I mean, a lot of people think I just ramble, but I'm not. I ask these questions for a reason, and now here I hear that there's an ex-guitar player. I didn't know that before.
Yeah.
So what happened? And you don't have to tell me the split or if it blew
up
like
we'll
a
give you like
a
brief.
Yeah, give me an idea what happened.
It was pretty tragic because he was our best friend since like we were like super young.
Mm-hmm.
He he joined the band actually a few months before James even joined the band. We used to be a band called the Bad Names.
Okay.
We were like a ska punk band.
Yeah.
Which is when we were super young, and then Chris joined the band in grade 8 as second guitar, and then our other bass player dropped out, and then James came in, and we played with him forever, and like he was our best friend, and he sadly a few months before, and he was just like a brilliant, smart dude, and he was kind of going his own way and doing his own thing. Like he was still super passionate and super talented about music, but he was moving to Toronto, he was going to university for like physics and philosophy, and we were kind of like trying to, push the band.
Sure. Yeah.
So we did like part ways with him, but shortly after that he passed away, which was like tragic. And but that's also like we wouldn't be sitting here right now, if it weren't for his inspiration is what drives us more than like we've always been driven towards music, but now it's like like an amplified drive, because it's like we're not only doing this because we love it, we're doing it because he loved it, and we're not only doing it for us, we're doing it for him. You know what I mean?
It also made us realize what we want in life and how important this really is to us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Didn't cut you off there.
No, not at all. I mean, James, give me an idea. Like, going through that is obviously huge. You hear something like that as an interviewer, and you're like, okay, what's...
Yeah, where do I go?
Do I need a question? Silence is what I need. But what gives you the faith kind of going forward in the Penske file? Like, how deep does it run? Like, how do you know nothing's going to affect the three of you coming down the road? You know what I mean?
I feel like there's still 4 people in this band.
Okay.
I feel like if you can cut Skinner into 3 and put a bit of it into like our souls, like we play with him every single night.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how I feel about it. I love what we do every single night.
Yeah.
I love, as you said before, getting in the van, getting out of the van. Sometimes it's really awesome.
Imagine some, right? Yeah.
It's just like what we're doing is awesome, and through that experience of losing a best friend and a guitarist and like a brother, basically, it was really, really rough, and there was a lot of people that were really affected by it, and we just tried to take it in the most positive way we could and just music.
It really sounds like you have, like you guys have taken it in a positive, and that could have destroyed a lot of bands, guys, no question. I mean,
it did just make us stronger, and it's like, it's sad to say that, but it's just like his inspiration that is like he said, it's kind of like a part of us, and like the closest way, like I feel, the closest I ever feel connected to him is when you hit that like one point during the set where it's just like you're totally euphoria and you like kind of forget about everything else,
man.
and like that's like the moment where it's like that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no question about it, man. I can't even imagine being through that kind of experience and rebounding through it.
Yeah, and that's a lot, like a Restless Symphony, like a lot of it is totally inspired by that tragedy and turning tragedy into like, I'm trying to find the proper word for it, but it's like taking a tragedy and turning it into motivation and drive to make something out of your life.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like it has to, and that's kind of what I'm seeing here, and what I'm really respecting in this band right now is that it seems like the drive and the determination of this band is tight. Like you guys are all on that same wavelength, and it is go time for you.
Yeah,
because that can wreck bands, and we all know that. And you got one person that's not quite sure if this is the time to do it. Doesn't want to book that much time off their job or whatever.
We're all gung ho, as they say.
Yeah, no, I mean that's something to definitely respect, guys.
Swallowed up all the magazines. Maybe one day we'll be here and breathe free. Maybe one day we'll eat
stop the girls. Alright, should we actually play the real song now?
Yeah, that was cool.
I think, as far as the Restless Symphony goes, I kind of interpreted the title after I had listened to what you guys do through a couple of videos. I was thinking, like, it sounds like an accurate description of your music. That's the way I looked at it, and I didn't know if that's what you guys had meant or.
Well, it's kind of totally. It's like that, but it's also just kind of like we're in a total like restless state of our lives.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's an amalgamation of like a lot of things that happened from when Skinner passed away.
Right.
Which was in 2010, which is when we kind of mark. We were called the Penske File a bit before we kicked him out, but we weren't extremely active like we wanted to be. But we were just like kind of figuring things out, right? We were still in school and we had a lot of things on our minds.
Yeah.
But we kind of look at the start of our band as like when we played a Chris Skinner memorial show a few weeks after his death with the three of us, and that was kind of like the symbolic beginning of this chapter of the band.
Yeah. I would imagine.
It just felt right when we were on stage.
Yeah. It
This is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Right. Well, let's move. We'll go somewhere in the middle here.
Yeah.
Because I mean, speaking of Restless, you guys have traveled a long way, both physically and obviously musically as well.
Yeah.
But give me an idea. What's a highlight from the Penske File past? What's going on out there? What did anything from a previous tour or I don't know, just a good show in general that you've got a good memory of? Somebody tell me a story.
It's all been pretty swell.
So many stories.
I have a good story. The first time we played like out of the Southern Ontario tight circuit, we were like at this point like we didn't have any recorded music. We were going out with like our good buddies that we grew up with. They're in a band called Mongo, and we had a house show in Ottawa, and then like a loft show in Montreal, and we were getting paid for either of them. But we were like so like beyond excited. We're going on tour. Like we got in like two different cars because we didn't have a van yet. And but anyways, we got to Ottawa and we're playing like this old house like near the market, and we load in and everything, like the basement's super cool. It's like spray paint everywhere. It's all it's all like concrete spray paint everywhere. We're like, this is gonna be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So we set up all our gear. First off, there's only one outlet.
Oh no.
So we're like, oh shit. And the guy who owns us, like they threw notorious parties there, but they never had full band play before.
Okay. Yeah,
so
notorious parties with one outlet.
Yeah, exactly. And then so he was like, okay, I'll just get you like he wanted to just get us a power bar and have everything plugged into one outlet, and we're like, no.
Right. Yeah.
So we got an extension cord and went upstairs anyways. So we had two outlets. And we had everything set up, and we were doing like a check, and I was complaining because the mic was shocking me, and I can't freaking do that. Like, I hate it.
You rock stars are all the same. You complained about that?
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
I hate it. I hate it. And these guys, these guys are basically saying, they're like, no, like, I was like, I can't do this. They're like, you're a bitch. Like, just deal with it. You're a bitch. I was like, okay, fine. And then so we started playing a song. Like, we're just checking at this point. There's only a couple of our friends watching us.
Yeah.
And while we're playing, a visible bolt of electricity goes from my guitar string to James's guitar string through his bass and through his amp and just blows his head, and there's like smoke everywhere.
It was so
and he just bought it, and it was like the most insane thing ever. So long
smoking.
But long story short, he went to Long McQuaid, like traded it and rented a new amp or whatever, and we set up, we got the show, we played like 3 songs before like we had to stop because the cops were going to come.
Unreal. Wow. Okay, so first reaction, pissed about the amp or happy that you're still alive?
Alive didn't even register.
Right.
My head was
yeah, for sure.
I loved the sound of that thing. I just got it. I was stoked. It was just like, why did this have to go wrong? But the moral of the story is to cut the strings on your guitar. Okay. No, they're all just
like, like dangly strings.
Just change the strings on the guitar and the bass. And there was this visible...
Yeah, like it was a serious like lightning bolt.
Right? Yeah. Superconductor.
Yeah, it's insane.
So cool. Yeah. Little mini Tesla coils on the end of the guitar.
Pretty intense.
Punk music is often rooted in politics. You guys do any of that stuff?
No.
Good.
We used to.
Good. I like that answer. That's perfect. Music and those two, I don't know. There's a time and a place.
When we were young, we were in the band names. We didn't really have anything else to sing about, and we were obsessed with it. Like I would write like basically all the lyrics. And I was obsessed with anti-flag, so I wrote a lot of songs like that. But as you grow up, you kind of like you realize what you are not meant to write about, but you know what I mean, like what actually means something to you.
Right. Yeah, I understand that.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, and as time goes on too, and you gain popularity, you realize more people are listening to those words as well, right?
Yeah.
So they kind of become, or at least I would think you'd want them to represent you in the best possible way that you can.
Well, it's just like I don't want to like. Okay. If people that are truly like passionate about politics and sing about politics, it's like that's cool. But I have other things that fill my headspace, and I need to get out on the page.
Again, love it. Should be that way.
Yeah.
Alright, let's break up all this talking a little bit here. Bring in some music. Penske file. Make something happen here on SBS Live this week, please.
In the center of this suburb, there's a back creek where the kids get whittled down. And at the end of the water, there's a team listening to autumn sounds. Now my brains are beating faster, and my heart get all plastered to the shroud. Walk twisting, winding trees. Let's turn these creeks into seas and sing aloud. Sing aloud. We won't let these cities conquer us. We'll watch their minds fall. So climb on out of your basement room. Take my hand, 'cause we're leaving. So in the center of the city, sidewalk cracks and it's not pretty as a tired man sits upon the bed, too short by broken pity and it's sad. Some nights we sell it all short, it's all we have. It's all we have. We won't let these cities conquer us. We'll watch their lives fall. So climb on out of your basement room. Take my hand.
Alex, tell me about. I want to jump back into the valley for 1 second because I really dug the jam space that was in that video. Now I looked at that. I was watching it with a friend of ours named Brad from Eterna. Brutal power metal band. Brutal in the good sense. But we're both looking at this thing and we're like, that's pretty comfortable looking. You know, like I got the sense that is that your actual jam space?
Yeah, that was our old house in St. Catharines.
Okay, because that thing looks like, I mean, it reminded me of the 18th and a half floor from Being John Malkovich. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but you got that really low ceiling and the, you know.
I'm the tall.
Right. So you had the issues.
I actually had to bend a bit every time.
Yeah, that's the basement of the house we just moved out of.
Okay.
It was funny though, because you had to like go downstairs through a bathroom, through the boiler room, and then you're in the jam space.
Unreal.
That's cool.
I mean, that you kind of feel like it's your own little world too, right?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Shut off everybody
and
else.
That's where most of the record came together in that room.
Right.
He liked to slowly take over. He'd slowly inch his drums
out.
Expanding?
And then one day I just noticed it. I was like,
yeah.
Wait, we're really far. Alex, what are you doing? You got like half the room. He's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
good.
He's fine. Right? Stretched out mini fridge on the side. So, I mean, how do you handle that? Do you get the mob involved and inch this guy backwards? Or
we have like our own mob on the street.
They're perfect, right? You know, you got to have one on speed dial at all times. Cement shoes are necessary. How important would you guys say overall is that platform, that kind of pinnacle where people are hearing that message? You know, like obviously everybody wants to make it, but like, is it important for you guys to say something?
I think that like it's important for me to get these. It's extremely therapeutic. It's like why I'm like a sane and calm person, because I get all these things out on the page, like lyrically, and like I just love, like every time I listen to a band, it's like the lyrics are what hook me.
Okay.
It's like I have to enjoy the music, but if the lyrics are phenomenal, that's what's gonna make me be like, this is amazing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so I really put a lot into the lyrics and try and like into the poetry of them. And like I said, it's like a lot for me because like there's certain songs, like one song we have, like The Graveyard, that was like, that song is about Skinner like pretty directly, whereas the other ones have a lot of like hints, and like for people outsiders they wouldn't know because it's like it could be people think I'm talking about a girl or something.
Well, you have a YouTube video of that up there. I think it's photos and lyric videos.
Yeah, it's a lyric video, but like that song.
Because I didn't get that song as a person outside.
That song, for example, was like, I think it was like the second anniversary of, or it was his birthday. No, it was the second anniversary of the day that he died.
Right.
And I was stuck because I was doing school in the summer, and everyone was like at his grave and doing all these things, and I was having such a rough time.
Right.
But then I sat down and I wrote these lyrics, and it just made me feel that much better.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I hope that other people can enjoy the music and have those lyrics like mean something to them, whether it's the same thing they mean to me or not.
Right.
That would like make me super happy.
Yeah. Kind of the ultimate feedback.
Yeah, exactly.
Compliment, right?
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of it is like it means a lot to like people who were around for that time, like some of our songs especially.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean anything to anybody else. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, it sounds like you're attempting to at least write them in that ambiguous kind of way.
Yeah, that's just that is the way I like to write, where it's just like, you know, I'm writing about this, but I've like had even with other songs where it's like people be like, I love this song and how this line is about this, and I'm like, that's not what it's about. But that makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Interpretation,
exactly.
Perception is reality, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, you guys are going to get a lot of crazy theories over time, and especially if you're writing.
So that's cool, because like I listen to a song and it's like, this line means this, but like you don't know that's what they meant by it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fascinating.
That's the craft of being a writer, right? Yeah. I mean, it's one of the privileges you get to have in your art, which I gotta say, if you're talking about it in terms of poetry, one of the things I talk about all the time on this show is music and art being that combination.
Yeah.
I would assume calling it poetry, you'd pretty much have to feel the same way in that respect. How about like visually coming up? because the video for the Valley, it's not a diss or a burn in any way, but it is that kind of regular shot video in terms of we see a lot of you guys, right?
Yeah.
Now our adventures into the live scene had to start somewhere all over again. And in December last year, we went to see the Magic Spells downtown at the Zoo Shop in Vancouver. But just post that, we ended up seeing the Pit for the first time at the Media Club in Vancouver, putting on a show that since then has stood out in our mind as one of the best and most standout performances that we had seen from a breakthrough artist in Vancouver for some time. So very excited to be able to show you that entire concert in full on next week's episode. But for now, if you haven't seen any of the clips that we've posted online from different aspects and angles of the Media Club performance, take a look at this video and come back again next week and see the rest. Here's the Pit on SBS Live This week.
This song's called I Wanna Plant Bombs Everywhere.
love that sound.
Would you ever take yourselves out of a video, or is it important to represent yourself that way as well when you're I don't know, in this day and age in general?
I can understand what you're saying. I definitely feel like with that video, we just kind of had a vision to do it that way. We wanted to incorporate the jam space,
Sure.
because that's where we spent way too long writing this album.
Right, okay, yeah.
The valley, that spot where we went, that actually is the valley where he wrote the lyrics for
Okay.
that song.
Right.
And those, the friends that were there are the people that like we've hung out with in Burlington, when we were like they're good friends.
Yeah.
And we did the city part in St. Catherine just because we've been living there. And it was
It's
actually
kinda
done.
autobiographical.
Yeah, it was,
right?
and it was just like when we looked at the video coming back to us for the first time, it was like, wow, that is really, really good. Because when we were there, it is one guy with one camera
Right, yeah.
in one day, and he did an insane job on it.
Yeah.
The next video,
Yeah.
we have no idea.
Yeah,
we're thinking about
We're
it.
we're not against not having us in it. It's just like
Sure.
it's a matter of like whatever the best idea is.
Well, we'll be in it. Always.
Yeah, well, of course, goes without saying,
Because
right?
we're like
yeah,
really good looking.
Yeah, and I'm assuming you're already planning your solo careers as well, right? Like,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. But I don't blame you at all. The jam space, I mean, to me, that is something that needed to be featured. That's a kick-ass environment. I mean, it shows you guys in a good light, shows that tightness of the band.
Yeah.
And great song. I mean, tons of energy. Got the harmonica ripping in there. Dude, they keep you working in the back there. Another pound. Yeah. Before I wrap this up for you guys, plug a website or three. Where can people find you at?
Facebook.com/the Penske file. That's the
Alright.
most regularly updated. We also have
Soon to be the most regularly updated is www.thepенskefile.ca.
I mean, you can't get that address without being the official Penske file, right? So, I mean, that's the one. And incidentally, like I said, I do my research. Just so you guys know, Penske file from Ontario, you guys, you got over 1,000 likes. You guys are doing well. That other Penske file, sorry, I barely remember them, but just barely over 100. So I think you guys are doing okay. What's the deal with Penske file anyway? I understand it's like some sort of government document or something. I don't
that's a
really know
Seinfeld
anything.
reference from Seinfeld.
Okay.
Because there's an episode where George he like gets a job interview at some firm.
Yeah.
And it's scheduled for like the next week because the boss is going on vacation. So he's talking to Jerry. He's like, I'm just gonna go in there and say I got the job and see if I can just start.
Right.
And he goes in there because the boss is on vacation. They set him up in an office and they set him up working on the Penske file, and he has no idea what he's doing. He's not actually hired, so he just literally sits in the office all day, twiddling his thumbs and drumming with pencils. And he's apparently working on the Penske file.
How did that become relevant to the three of you in terms
Okay,
of
well, it's like Skinner, like our old guitar player buddy, he wrote up a list because we were changing our name because we were, just growing out of our old music
And the bad names was bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm happier with the Penske file. How about that?
All right. But he wrote up a huge list of names, and we just ultimately ended up deciding on the Penske file.
Okay. All right. Well, gentlemen, in case I missed anything, which I often do, because I'm getting old, as you can see by the beard. In case I missed anything, open floor for you. Anything you guys want to say to your fans? Anything you guys want to shout out?
Hi, Mom.
There you go. Mom is important, you know. Mom gets a lot of love on this show. I'm not gonna lie. She really does. You know? The universal mom seems to really get shouted out a lot.
That's good.
Penske file. I just want to say thank you once again, James.
Thank you, dude.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Travis.
Thanks,
Alex,
thank you, man.
you guys are playing at the Gates tonight?
No.
Canceled.
Oh, edit, cut, no good.
Apparently, it got shut down. It's
Okay.
like an illegal after hours
I
venue.
was like, I've never heard of this one.
It's like in East Hastings. It's some like illegal venue, and apparently it got shut down a couple days ago. So
that's really good news for you guys, and probably based on the area. That's really not such a bad thing. Yeah.
The band we played with or touring with Fire Next Time, they've played there before, and they're like, it's interesting.
Yeah.
They said there's always like people there, but it's just like a bunch of crust punks, and it's like they're like, it's just really weird, like super high stage. Like the stage is like really high, and like there's a bunch of weird people, and it's like you have to like do the buddy system if you leave the venue.
Absolutely. Yeah, no lie. I mean, the last time I went down there, it was actually for that guy Brad, his band Eterna. They were playing at a place called Funky Winker Beans, and
Sorry.
Funky Winker Beans. And same thing, man. I got out of the club that night, and I watched probably about 3 ambulances peel past me, and I was like, oh, okay, here we go, you know, like Vancouver at its finest again. And then whatever, like the hazmat truck or whatever goes rolling by, and now I'm like, okay, time to put pedal to the metal and get the hell out of here, right? Like, what's going on? I found out that some dude was just outside of that club stabbing people at random, stabbed some guy in the neck, like about 12 feet away from the bar we were at. So, Penske file, you're doing okay by not playing down there tonight. I think that's all right. Play it safe. Get in the van. Next place is going to be good. Well, that's the interview.
Cool.
You guys want to get, you're not playing tonight, but you guys still want to throw down a performance?
Yeah.
Excellent. I like that idea. Guys, thank you very much again for being here. Set you up. All right, cool.
Once again, a huge thank you to Travis, James, and Alex for coming by all the way from Ontario to Sleeping Bag Studios to be here for SBS Live this week. Again, you guys battled through an intense cold, passed it on, and kept on going with your music. So we salute you. You guys are awesome. Had a really great time talking to you here in the studio, and we look forward to hearing what you're doing in the future, and hope that A Restless Symphony continues to perform at the level that it is. I know that you guys are having great success with that album and the touring behind it, so continue on that path, guys, and do what you do. I also want to thank the Pit, of course, for popping by in a preview. We will have them again on the show for a full concert, of course, next time on SBS Live This week, as we move into the second half of the 100 mark. But yeah, we'll keep it short and sweet today. I want to take us out with music from the Penske file, and follow that up with a clip show of some of the highlights through pictures of the best moments of SBS Live this week. So thank you again for watching. We look forward to keeping the show going and continuing on doing what we love, because you're doing what you love. It inspires us to do what we do, and continually we're going to help turn that around and inspire you right back. So thank you very much for continuing to support what we do here and independent music. It's very important that we all stick together through this music scene, and you guys prove on a weekly basis that you're here to do just that. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and we'll see you again next time.
I'm just a crack on the ground, a stone on the road. On my words I will trip, from my dreams I will fall. So follow the crack in the horizon. So follow the crack in the horizon before it freezes under you. I'm just a crack on the ground, a stone on the road. And forever I reach for the unattainable. get you down. So leave my mind's on the ground, give my soul to the sky. Another stone on the road, just trying to fly. So fly, fly, fly. Another stone on the road, just trying to fly. So fly on airways in town tonight. You'll find me further down the line. You'll find me further down the line. So follow the clock in the horizon before it freezes under you.
I can't surprise myself with the words out of my mouth. I don't know how. I don't know how the way I feel about you now affects the way I live my life. I can't surprise myself when the words come stumbling out. I don't know how. I
Smoke break if you want.
Okay, so remember what I said earlier? If you take transit back to my place, it's 15 plus hours. You said mom, but not dad.
Oh, true enough.
Does the bus go by? Does the bus go right by here?
It does
Doesn't matter.
actually, yeah.
They can walk in
There.
14 hours.
Good answer,
I
sir.
didn't
Good
say
answer.
Who's just
Smoking.
smoking?
Smoking. Camera's still rolling. They got that on film too.
See,
Chastised, you know. That's great. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.
Better, not worse. Better, not worse. Better, not worse. Better.